Start your week smiling with your friends, Kathy's aunt and Michelle Frechette. It's time to get ready for some weekly motivation with WP Motivate. Happy Friday, Kathy. TGIF.
TGIF. And next week's a holiday week. Like,
Woo! I know.
how's the
I
Black
love it.
Friday stuff going? I'm kind of a little bit out of it this year. It's like, everybody okay? Everybody
I
breathing?
think so. I'm the one who approves all of the Black Friday deals onto post status, and we're at almost 300. And I know more are coming. I know. It's just like, and then people will be like, I submitted it. How come it's not there? I'm like, because we actually like vet these things. We check your dates. We look at, make sure there's no typos. Some people
Yeah.
have actually just put like 30 as the memo line, like that's what it's as their listing. 30. I'm like,
Well,
30 what?
is the
Or
of my
30%,
psychic capable.
or even just 30% off. I'm like, maybe you should put your, your product name in there so that when people search it, it actually shows up. But anyway, yes,
Yeah.
most people have done it the right way, but it is funny. And I have like laughed a little bit internally. I fix them, of course, so that I'm presenting all of them properly, but it does make me laugh a little bit for sure.
Marketing is hard sometimes.
Envy, right? It just goes to show that the people who are submitting them are not necessarily the marketing team.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, I
Fun.
I try to, like, we always try to keep it real positive here because we call it, WP motivation. But I got to thinking that it does, like, sometimes negative stuff can actually be motivational and instructional, right? So I wanted to tell you about something that happened this week. And I was, for anybody who's listening, I actually started to tell Kathy before, and I was like, no, I'm gonna save it. I'm not gonna tell you so that I can get your reaction, like, for real, and not like, oh, I just heard this 5 minutes ago. So yesterday, I get a lot of DMs. Allie and I have talked about this over at Underrepresented Tech. I get a ton of DMs, right, all the time, and I know that's par for the course. You have a big name in the community. People are going to try to connect with you, whatever. And I love when people connect with me. I really do. What I don't like is when people set an expectation that because they recognize my face, I have to do what they're telling me, right? And so this person yesterday, I'm not even going to tell you what continent they're on because it doesn't matter. But this person yesterday with 24 followers on Twitter, and that I think that's relevant, messages me and basically, like, this is why you should hire me to do your projects. Like, not like a hello, not like, I think they did say I followed you and I followed you for a while. I went to their account, like literally they had created their account the week before. So I'm not really sure what followed me for a while means. But anyway, and this is the things I do, and I would love I would love to work for you. And they did say for free. I want to create your content for free. Okay, first of all, nobody creates my content but me because it's my personal brand. I'm not letting other people write in my voice. It's just not, it doesn't feel right to me. So I said thank you, but I'm fine. So then they posted something on Twitter, X, whatever. And I'm going to say it that way forever, by the way, Twitter X, whatever. That is how I say it on every time I talk to anybody on Twitter X, whatever. So on that platform, they posted like something about hiring them to do work, and they put 4 images of work that they've done, and they tagged me as an image in the image, as though it were a photo of me. Okay, I went from no, thank you, I don't have any jobs for you, to what the fuck are you doing, asshole? Like that literally, I went like, I don't know. It's funny because when people hear me swear, sometimes like, oh my God, did you know Michelle swears? And I'm like, yeah, people on the inner circle know that like every other word is that when they talk to me. But anyway, I went from 0 to 10 like so freaking fast. It wasn't even funny. And I reached back out to them and I said, I gotta find I already deleted the conversation because I just didn't want to see it keep coming up in my stuff. So I messaged them and I said, I can't find everything, but I go, he said, so I messaged him, I said, this is not the way to do it. I said, I sent it back to him and I said, I tweeted out, I've said it before, tagging people in your social posts just to elevate your views is the worst way to advertise. I've been kind this time. I usually block and move on. So then I messaged this person, and he said, I'm sorry about that. That really turned out unexpected. I'm open to getting corrections. Marketing is not my thing. I go, well, tagging people to boost your views is abhorrent, and I'm angry. Don't tag me in your photos. That's horrible marketing. I've untagged myself. If you do anything like that again, I will block you. You're lucky I didn't tag you back on this one. And he says, no, I never meant it from that view. I said, don't message me again. So then he messaged me again. Go through my
Wow.
post. You will understand that I don't run marketing.
Grayson.
I was requesting for a job from you by showcasing my projects to you and others. Thank you for your time, boss. I go, you're blocked now. I told you not to message me again. And I blocked him because, okay, first of all, you tell me you want to do content for me, and now you're saying you don't understand marketing. There's a disconnect right there. Because content is
Yeah.
marketing, right? Like it is. It just is. Anyway, so I spent yesterday like irate. This person is like trying to take advantage of my good graces because I, as most people know, really do try very hard to help people in our community. And if you come to me with a reasonable request, I usually find a way to either direct you to resources or help you if I can, right?
Mhm.
And I don't have unlimited resources myself, so I can't just spend all day every day. At least 5 times a week, I get people asking me, will you let me know if you find any jobs that suit me? I'm like, okay, first of all, I don't know you, so I don't know what job would suit you. Secondly, I am not a headhunter and I'm not a job placement specialist. Follow the tweets, look at the sites. That's all I can tell you. Well, if you see anything, let me know.
Right.
And I replied to this one person recently. I said, I will not be doing that. It is your job to find a job. I provide resources. I am not looking to place people in jobs. I don't have the time or the capacity to do that. And I'm not impolite about it, but I have to push back because I can't spend all day every day looking for jobs for people I don't know. And then
Yeah.
yesterday, somebody like messages me who I'm connected to. I mean, I'll connect with almost anybody on LinkedIn, quite honestly, if you want to, whatever, you know. And they're like, hey, will you write me a recommendation? I go, who are you? Like, how can I write you a recommendation? Oh, I used to work with you at XYZ company. I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know your work. Have you reached out to that boss that you had there? Yeah, but they're not responding very quickly. I said, well, I can't write a recommendation for somebody who I have not worked with directly.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, like, no, I understand that my name is bigger in WordPress than I even think it is sometimes. I do get that. But that doesn't mean that I'm everybody's whatever. I can play
Yeah.
toy, doll, whatever. You know, you can't just like, well, she's nice, she'll do it. I am nice, but don't
Yeah.
take advantage of people's good graces that way because I do have a dark side and I do use the F bomb sometimes. And I know where the block button is, and you don't want to be blocked. Nobody wants to be blocked, but it happens.
No.
So yeah, so I don't know how motivational that is, but that was yesterday. That was all in one day. Both of those things happened in one day. So,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is like I'm pretty generous too. I'm generous
mhm,
with my time, my recommendations. Like I'll talk to anybody. If somebody reaches out to me and says, "Hey, I'm trying to do this project or whatever," even if it's like not necessarily a fit for my job or my company, I'll talk. If it's about WordPress and how to get started online and get started with your business and resources that are available in WordPress, I'm going to talk to most anybody. But then
mhm,
I've had people who've had those kinds of things, like somebody who's getting started with a plugin and they want this and that and the other thing, and then all of a sudden they want me to be their marketing director, and it's just like
yeah,
no, you're not.
no,
I'm happy to help get you started and to share information, jump on a 15-minute call, talk to you about what you're doing and find ways for you to like I'll give you like 20 suggestions. That does not mean I work for you now.
right,
And I will give you you're looking for somebody to do XYZ job. I know tons of people. I'll tell you, go talk to this person in California, this person in New York. Like these people, I think might be able to help you. And if they don't respond to you, that's not, don't come at
yeah,
me like, well, nobody responded. I don't know what you said to them. That's the recommendation. That's it. That's it. Unless,
yep,
I do have you want to have me like really do the work, there are ways to pay me. Go on my website and you can
Yep.
book me for a meeting, and that meeting can turn into some work. Like I'm
Right.
happy to do that kind of stuff. Or people will reach out to me because of my association with Cadence, and they're like, okay, my agency wants to get switched over to Cadence, and what do you suggest? And I'll like talk through like
Hmm.
a real basic high level of stuff,
Right.
but I'm not going to do the work for you for
No,
free.
no.
Like, I used to work at Cadence, but even when I do work for Cadence, I'm not going to do your work for you, but I'll talk
Yeah,
to you about the products. Like, and I'll talk to anybody still to this day, even though I'm not like director of marketing at Cadence anymore. I'm still like helping out a little bit, and I still believe in the product very much so. So, but
absolutely.
yeah, people think like because there are so many people who contribute. I think it's like twofold. One, respect people, but then
Hmm.
also we have to be like just hardcore with our boundaries of like, I will
Yeah,
do up to here. Boom. That's it. Ask me for anything else, and I'm going to say no and
yeah.
push it. I'm going to say no and use some of Michelle's expletives. I'll make you talk to Michelle. She'll be my bouncer.
I will bounce for you every day, all day, Kathy. You don't even have to pay me. I get it's fun. My favorite ones though are where they don't even say hello. They don't even say how are you. They just send you their pitch, right? And they're always Fivers.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with Fiverr. I really don't. But if you're on Fiverr, learn how to approach people, because just sending a generic pitch and a link to your portfolio is not the way to get work. I maybe it works sometimes, but honestly, I don't think that's the best way to get work. So what they do is they'll just send you their pitch and a link to the portfolio. My favorite way to shut them down now is to say, "Oh, would you like me to review your website? I charge $500 for that."
Yeah.
And they're
Makes
like, "Oh
sense.
no, I was looking for work." Oh, well, if you'd like me to review
Yeah.
your website so you can find work, I charge $500 for that. And then they just stop because they realize that I'm not. And that's a boundary, right? That tells them
Yeah.
I'm not working for you for free. And I am not hiring, and I am not, or if they say, are you hiring, or whatever, I'm like, I'm not, or I see this job at Cadence, I see this job at Stellar, I see this job. Can you recommend me for that job? Well, or can you give me tips or anything else? Like, I'm not the hiring manager. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fingers
The thing
crossed for
is
you.
like, okay, so we're both marketers, and we
Hmm.
both have varying things that we sell, or
Hmm.
various brands that we rep.
Yep.
My job is never to go out. I'm not going to go cold call a company and say, "Can we do your website for you?" That's just
Right.
not how I work. It's like more inbound, and like I want to sit on a call with somebody and hear what potential client, like they come to me. I want to
Yep.
hear what their needs are. Where are their pain points? What are they trying to do? What are their goals for the next fiscal year? And
Hmm.
then I'm going to see where those things fit in with my service offering. And so people who are doing this, like, I want a job, like, go to that company, research that company, and then, like, if you really wanna do a cold pitch, like, find out what that company really needs and what their market objectives are, and
Hmm.
then explain why you are the person to help that company, that brand, whatever,
Right.
achieve those objectives. Put yourself in the hiring manager's shoes and say, "Okay, what does this hiring manager want?" They want the best candidate possible that's gonna help brand X get whatever it is that
Hmm.
they need. And
Yeah.
then you're being of service. People are
Yeah.
looking for what they can get rather than how they can serve. And that's,
Hmm.
you're never ever going to sell if you're looking for what you're going to get. You've got to look of how
Hmm.
you're going to be of service. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And right now we get what, like, I mean, depending on the job, of course, but like hundreds of applicants for every open
Mhm.
position right now in tech, right? I will have people email me, attach their resume, and ask me, who can I speak to about the job at, Cadence is a job that's open right now. Who can I speak to about the marketing role at Cadence? And I reply and say, you have to apply through the website. And they will inevitably respond back and say, but I'd like to be connected to the person. And I say, if you cause more friction in the hiring process, you go to the bottom of. I
Right.
said, you will not be considered at all. Go through the proper channels, show that you understand how to follow directions, and not try to circumvent the process. If I said, oh, you have to talk to, you know, Joe Smith, and you start pinging Joe Smith Joe Smith's going to be pissed off because you
Right.
are not following the right protocol. And now you have shown that
Protocols are so important.
you don't understand how to approach people. You've caused more work for the hiring manager, not less. And as soon as they figure out which application is yours, boom, gone. You are no longer being
Yeah.
considered.
Yeah.
It's just my
Every
opinion.
job every job offer that I have gotten in the past, let's say 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
has been a job that I've applied for mostly, and I sit and I wait. And I know the people who are I know because I'm in the community, and so I know these people, right? I know everybody, but,
Mm-hmm.
like, you apply, you put your name in the hat, and then you sit and you wait. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're the right if they'll see your name. If they know you and they know what you've done, you will be at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unless it's liquid web, and then that person has to go fish you out of, like, I don't even know where my application went when I was, like, talking when I first applied at Liquid Web, and then it's like I went someplace else, and then they were like, "Hey, Kathy, like, what are you doing? What's up?" And I'm like, "Well, I applied and I didn't hear from y'all, so I went over here," and it was
Yeah.
kind of a weird situation, but I knew the people, like,
Right.
I wasn't gonna go no, just
No.
even with friends, I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, give me a job." Like,
Right.
no, let the process work for
Mm-hmm.
you, but you have to work the process, right?
Right. Exactly. It kind of reminds me like there's insider knowing people and that kind of stuff for sure. And they're seeing a job and saying to somebody, "Hey, would you welcome my application or not?" Because if they're going to be
That's
like, "Oh,
cool.
I could never afford to hire you," then that's fine,
Yeah,
right? Whatever. And then you haven't wasted your time or theirs. But if they're like,
yeah,
"Yeah," then I just go like I would go. I haven't done it in a while, but I would go and apply through the proper channels, right? I wouldn't be
yeah.
like, "Hey, here's my resume," because that's just not the way to do it. But I saw this is tangential, I promise. But I saw somebody once tried to follow me. This is years ago on Twitter, and in their bio, it said that they were a social media influencer. They had 20 followers. And I'm like, okay, I get that you can influence 20 people, but I still wouldn't call that a social media influencer. So make sure that you're not only following the right channels, but that you're using right terminologies, that you are presenting yourself not, they say dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. I get that, but that doesn't mean inflate your bio. That doesn't mean pad your resume. It really
No.
means be indicative of who you are and speak the speak, walk the walk, all that kind of stuff. But gosh,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's been it's maybe it's just like maybe I'm just like crushed with Black Friday, Cyber Monday work, and I just was like feeling a little spicy yesterday. But like, gosh, they were coming out of the woodwork, and I was like, okay, uncle, I'm done. Gonna order pizza and go to bed. Gosh.
Yeah. That is so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I think a lot of times it's cultural stuff too, where
oh,
it's
for sure.
just maybe it's different in other cultures, but I try to be respectful of other cultures, and I say I'm sorry when I cross a line, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I didn't know, but don't make assumptions about
Right.
the culture.
And it doesn't mean don't ask me questions, right? Like I've had people like
Right.
say to me, "Hey, I saw this job. Is it open remote within the United States or is it international?" I'm happy to answer a question like that. If it wasn't clear
Yeah.
on the on the job offering, I will absolutely answer those kinds of questions. But don't ask somebody to put you forward above other people, especially if they don't know you. Don't ask for a recommendation if I have never met you before and have no idea who you are. All and then I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I haven't worked with you before. And then they just send me their portfolio. I'm like, and yet I still haven't worked with you. I can look at a website all day long. I still
Yeah.
haven't worked with you, you know. And I'm not going to look at your code. I'm not going to see how you put that one. No, no. And I'm not even the hiring manager. So this is all a moot point.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel better now that I ranted a little bit. That was
Yeah.
motivational for me.
Sometimes you just have to,
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to.
Yeah.
It can be you're repping a very large brand with Stellar and lots of pretty significant brands that are within Stellar.
Hmm.
And so there's a lot of a lot of pressure that comes with that and a lot of expectations.
Yeah.
But I really, people just need to put themselves into your shoes and really understand
Yeah.
that
And
you're dealing with a lot
I
too.
really am
So
usually very polite when I respond. I don't want to make it sound like I unleash expletives on people in DMs and things like that. I usually just say I'm not the hiring manager. Please go through the proper channels to apply. Like
yeah,
that
yeah,
is my pat answer, my usual answer.
yeah,
Or like if they ask, is this remote within the United States or is this global? I will answer those questions politely, of course, but don't continue to push and continue to push to see how much you can get out of me because I'm going to cut you off because I don't
yeah.
need to live with that kind of pressure and I do need to have boundaries. And yeah, it took me 55 years, but I'm like finally finding my boundaries, my backbone. So there you have it. Anyway,
Yeah, and part of it's just not giving so much of a shit, right? Like
sometimes
I have my fucks, my last fucks are on fire candle back there, so maybe I need
I
to
love that. Yeah.
give that a little bit of a burn. I had one like this past week where somebody was just like, "Hey, why doesn't the Cadence site have search on it?" And I'm like, "Well, you can always do search, site colon Cadence WP, and then like, it's really easy on Google to do that. Other, but I'll bring it up with the team. We'll get something figured out." I can't believe Kathy was so short with us, and I'm just
What?
like, like looking around, like, I guess I was. I guess I was nicer. I was just trying. I'm so sorry. But, little billion things going on. And I'm just like, yeah, go
Always,
site.
always.
Google's your friend. Like, use Google properly. I don't know.
Let me
There's
Google
just
that for
something,
you.
there's just sometimes it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Community is really hard because people do, I try. I've been involved in a lot of WordPress communities. I try very hard to be super helpful. And sometimes I am just like, helpful. Here's the information you need. And that's not, no, they want my smiling face too.
Right.
So,
Yeah. No, I totally get that. And it's true. And I think it's funny because I think about like I've told you this before. I've said it publicly. I'm not ashamed. I like TikTok. And I spend time on TikTok when I'm bored or when I wake up in the morning and I just need to like my cats don't have conversations with me. I'll sit there and take my vitamins and scroll TikTok a little while, whatever, in the morning at my desk. Um and you do when you start to follow the same creators over and over again, you feel like you know them,
yeah,
but you have to remember that they don't know you. And so I
right.
realized that within the community that a lot of people think they do know us. They know who we are, but they sometimes mean in their mind that means that they're our friends. And it doesn't mean that they can't be our friends. It just means that they aren't yet. And so when you do
Yeah.
approach somebody, just be respectful. And
Yeah.
and 99% of the people are. It really, I mean,
Yeah.
this was a
These are outliers.
this
Yeah.
was yeah, yesterday was outlier day for sure. So I don't want to make it sound like like they're like everybody's
Yeah.
insane,
There's,
but there's a ton of
there's,
really amazing people and they're
yeah.
by and large the most kind, most polite and people will approach me and hey, will you try my plugin and if I can I will and like just stuff like that, right? But don't approach it as though you are owed my time. I guess that's really what I'm asking is nobody's owed my time unless you are, if you are making the direct deposit because I work for you, that's a different story altogether, right? But nobody out in the community is owed my time. They're owed my kindness. I do those kinds of things because I have a huge heart for our community. I love our community and I love how far I've come because of other people. And so I do try to pay it forward, pay it back, and those kinds of things. But that doesn't mean that there's an expectation that I owe you anything or that Kathy owes you anything. And so just be kind about things. Be polite in how you respond to people. If you wouldn't speak to your aunt or your grandmother or your cousin or the Queen of England that way, then don't speak to us that way either. That's all I'm asking.
Yes. We are a
And no,
little bit royalty.
I was gonna say I'm not the Queen of England. I could be your grandmother or your aunt. I don't know, but yeah, the royal wave is that what you're doing? I know. We should
Yes.
have got our tiaras out for this episode.
Oh, it's right back there with my
I
fuck
know mine
candles. So
mine are in the other office, but anyway. All right,
and I do have my, yeah, that's
I probably ranted too long. I'll
it's
let it go at this point.
well, I save a few rants for Festivus next month. We have that coming up and I
Oh,
want to
this is
celebrate
true.
that with you. Festivus in December. I'm going to bring
I
my poll and I've got my problems with you people. So I'm
I
ready.
I I have a feeling I'll have a few more rants by then anyway.
Amazing. Yeah, you still have to get to your Black Friday. Good luck.
I do. And I have family that will never respect boundaries. So, there's always that.
Oh, yeah. I feel you on that. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
we won't be recording next week. It is not only Thanksgiving here in the United States, it is also Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and we will be underwater for most of the week. So if you are celebrating Thanksgiving next week, I know Kathy and I both wish you a happy holiday. Enjoy your time with family if that's what you're doing, or enjoy your time alone with a bag of shrimp, which is what I'm doing, and a bottle of wine.
There you
And
go.
really, yeah, but we do hope everybody enjoys the week, and we will see you back after Black Friday. But have a great one. Thank you, Kathy, for listening to me rant and putting up with my swear words.
Oh, same. It was fun.
All
Thanks.
right, we'll see everybody later. Bye.
Bye.
This has been WP Motivate with Kathy Zant and Michelle Frechette. To learn more or to sponsor us, go to WPMotivate.com.